Hi, welcome to a tour of Trane. What's Trane? Trane is an automated practice system for acquiring new skills. Um, I'll go on into what that all that means in a while. Uh, First, I was just want to note that this is pretty informal tour. I don't have a script, so I'm just gonna be talking about it as I go through it and all its features. I won't be going into the code or how the material for training is written. Um, it's just more of showing how it works, um, what the user experience is like. First of all, what is Trane and what problem it's solving? So the problem I had was that I practiced music and I have made some progress, but it's not the progress that I wanted, so I decided to look for a system that will let me um, gather all the exercises and knowledge that I need to learn and have a way to just basically tell me what I should focus on. If it thinks I need to review an exercise, then show it to me. If it thinks that I don't need review, then move on to the next exercises that depend on the current exercise being mastered. Um, yeah, and I tried existing software, but I could not get any of them to work in the way that I needed. So I decided to build my own solution, which the result is Trane. I am going to be using um, this software called EarMaster, and it basically contains a bunch of exercises, ear training exercises. I have turned all of these exercises into train versions of them. Um, we will see what they look like in a minute. And I have encoded what their dependencies are. So here, for example, in this first, no, let me see. Here, in this first lesson, we are going to do 1.2, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3 first. And once we have done all of them, then we move on to 1.4 and so on. So that's already ready. My Trane version of Trane is already installed. So let's go. The first thing you have to do is open your the command line. So here's the command line. We're gonna output the help, and the second thing that we need to do is to actually open our library. I should have done this before. So I'm going to show you what a library is. It's just basically your material in these three folders, and then it contains a .train directory that stores all of the student results and user configuration. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's go back into Trane and open this library with this command. Okay, so now that we have opened it, we're ready to get our first question. By default, Trane is going to get exercises from all the courses that you have installed. So I guess first I'm going to find what a course, lesson, and exercise is. Well, an exercise is just a task that you have to complete. Lessons contain exercises that are similar and could be done in any order. So we don't care what the order is, we can present them in any order. And then there can be dependencies between the lessons. And then a course is just a set of lessons that it's mostly for helping you organize your material. So again, there can be dependency relationships between courses and lessons, and they can be arbitrary. So we say that, for example, to learn the minor scale, sorry, you first have to master the major scale. So those are already encoded in JSON files. I won't be going into that for this tour, but by default, we can get an exercise from any of these courses by just typing next. And here we have, this is mostly for debugging, but it's telling you which exercise from which lesson and course it comes from. And here's the exercise. It's telling you to work on that following exercise in your master. So it's telling you to go to this course, scale identification, and work on this. Let's do it different. Again, if you press next again, you'll be shown a new exercise. So now comes the second command, actually, which is answer. Some of the exercises have an answer. For example, this one is telling you that the interval from the tonic of degree 6 of the major scale is the major sixth. So we want to give us our scores. I sort of need this, so I'm just going to give myself a score of 4. So what the scores is a number from 1 to 5, and Trane will use those scores to decide when to move on to the next exercise and which exercise to review. 1 means I struggle immensely with this exercise. 5 means this is effortless. Okay, so we can move on to the next exercise. And yeah, that is basically the default flow of Trane. It is very simple. It's just a series of prompts telling you to do an exercise. You give it a score and requesting a new one. Now, we don't usually practice everything all at once, so we also want to be able to practice the specific things. For example, we could just want to practice from these exercises or from exercises for a given instrument. So let's see what features Trane has for that. So it's basically the filter command. You can have a filter that tells you to only work on exercises from those courses, and another filter to only work for exercises from that given lesson. There's also a concept of metadata, so you can give it key and value pairs to your lessons and courses. For example, a specific course could just be for the guitar, right? So you give it a metadata of instrument and a value of guitar, and if you set the filter correctly, you will only get shown exercises for the guitar. There's also this review list feature. So we have another feature called a review list, which is just a list of units that you want to review specifically. So you can add them there, and when you select this option, you will only be shown exercises from that review list. There's also another concept of named filter or saved filter. We don't want to have to do this every time we open Trane, so we can store specific filters as JSON files inside the .trane directory, and we can list them here with this command. So you see that I've already have some of them. So mostly I've been working on these intervals, so we can set it. So we can set it here. Okay, so now if we press next, now we're only getting exercises from these 3 courses. Okay. So now let's go into try to answer this one, for example. So I'm going to go into that interval identification. I'm going to go 1.4 and I'm going to multiply it. The exercise is basically showing you an interval, the sound, and you have to select one of these two. So I've done this before, so I think this is a minor second. Yeah. Major, 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 major. That's minor. Minor, I think, too. Minor. I think that's a major, yes. Major. Minor. Minor. Okay, so I've done this already, so as you can see, I got a score of 100, so I'm going to score myself. So I guess that's on a 5. I'm going to give myself a 5. I'm going to give myself next. So this is another exercise. I'm not going to do this because it involves singing. So let's just press next. Again, you're free to you just move on to the next exercise whenever you don't want to do this one. Okay, so another exercise for identification, 2.2. So this is same exercise as the one before, but for different intervals. So this is a minor third and a major third. I have no idea. I'm gonna say minor. No, that was a major. Major, minor, minor, major, minor. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. I didn't do that well, but I still got most of them right, so I'm gonna give myself a 4. And so on. So that is basically how you filter specific exercises. Now another of the features that I want to talk about is the blacklist. So you don't want to use you don't want to do every exercise all the time, right? Sometimes some of them are going to be very easy and you don't want them to show up every time. So we have a way to remove them. So a blacklist, an element, and unit in a blacklist means we're going to consider it as mastered already. So we're not going to bother with it. We're going to assume the student already knows it. So you can have some exercises, some commands here. Course, you're going to add the current exercise to the blacklist. And then exercise, you're going to add the exercise itself. And lesson, you're going to add the current exercise lesson to the blacklist. So these are just for convenience sake. Here you have the add command, which we can add an arbitrary lesson or unit or course to the exercise, sorry, to the blacklist. And then we have also another way to remove them. I'm going to show you my blacklist. Blacklist show. So I've already added a few of these exercises because I felt like I was scoring a 5 every time. So I didn't need to show them again. They were very basic, like comparing an octave with a perfect fifth. And the difference is very obvious, so you don't spend a lot of time in those exercises. So those are most of the basic features of Trane. Let's go into the help to see if I miss anything. Well, every instrument has some instructions, um, so this lesson doesn't have, but if we had included some instructions, then they show up here. Also, you can add material to a course or lesson. Um, so just basically presenting the material that you need to perform the exercises. Um, you can also have a review list, which we already mentioned. You can search, the search functionality, so we can do search guitar. And here we have all the things that are available for the guitar. We limit the search results for 50 or so we can have dissonant. So this exercises show up because we have some exercises where the word appears. What else? Let's go to the help again. So yeah, that is. Oh, I forgot to mention it's the current exercise. So you might just miss the current exercise because of all the text input. So just a convenience to show it again. But yeah, that is most of the features of Trane. The actual user interface is fairly simple. What's happening behind the curtains is that as you are given exercises and you provide the scores, Trane tries to walk you through the graph of all the skills. And again, the hope is that you eventually make enough progress that you cover the entire graph of skills, which if the theory and the software are right, it would mean that you learn new scores and you master them. Yeah, that's it. I hope you have enjoyed this very, very informal tour of Trane. Thank you.